Hi, thanks for tuning in. So I've just gotten access to the new OpenAI GPTs feature, and some of you will know already, this is the feature that was announced on Dev Day. And basically you can create your own custom versions of ChatGPT that can perform tasks. And I think you even get access to things like code interpreter. I think there's a retrieval pipeline in there as well. So it seems like you can create quite capable machines. I want to use this opportunity to live code my first GPT. So I don't know how this is going to go. I've never used the interface before, but it'll be interesting to work along with you guys just to see what I can build. So I've had this idea since Dev Day of creating a GPT to deliver some of my content. If you've been following me for some time, you'll know that I write technical blogs on Medium, showing you how, or giving you tutorials on different projects around large language models, artificial intelligence, data science. I thought it might be a cool idea to actually try to incorporate some of those into a GPT. And it can almost act as a tutor for you that you could work with alongside my content for those of you that kind of follow along with the notebooks, or anyone that's trying to break into artificial intelligence and pick up those skills. So yeah, let's code along. Let's see how it goes. So the first thing I want to do is, I haven't actually read any of the documentation for this stuff, but I think I'll just try to figure it out as I go along. So let's just start with a message. So let me try to articulate the application that I want to create. So what's cool about this is they do provide a natural language interface. So you can go into configurations and kind of set things up like that. But I'll start with the create tab and describe what I want to build in the natural language interface. So let me think about how to put this together. Right, so I've drafted something really rough here. What I've said is, that says I write, it should say, I write technical content, giving people tutorials for building large language model powered applications. I want to create an app to supplement my technical content that can guide my readers on building their own apps. Let me say guide students through content. Right, that sounds a bit better. So I want to create an app to supplement my technical content that can guide students through my content. I have notebooks, Python scripts, articles, and YouTube videos delivering my content. All right, let's start with that and see what comes back. So it is taking some time. I'm quite excited about this because I have no idea what it's going to deliver back. I'm just following the process here. Great, we're making progress. Now let's pick a name for your GPT. How about we call it Tech Tutor? Does that sound good to you, or do you have another name in mind? Tech Tutor. I'm not sure about that, to be honest with you. Let me make a suggestion. See what it responds back with. So it's generating profile picture. That's a bit strange, but okay, let's just play along. All I've suggested here is that we use, data-centric guide. Okay, fine. I think we can always change it later. Oh, that's fine. Let's just get along with it. What specific topics should the GPT focus on when guiding students through your content? Okay. I have an article on multi-agent workflows. So what I've said is I have an article that I've written on multi-agent workflows. I would like to start initially with this. Should I share a link to the article or attach it? It also comes with also comes with an IPython notebook and a YouTube video for which a transcription may be available. Okay, let's share that. Right, so it is asking me to attach all of those things. Fantastic. So let me see if I can get hold of everything I need. I don't know how many of these I'm able to attach at the same time. Just order by name. There we go. So that is the first one. I don't know if it can do anything with HTML content. That's one. And then we will also attach the AutoGen stuff. So let's go into the AutoGen tutorial and the notebook. I'll attach as well. It should be interesting. I have no idea if it's going to be able to read any of this content. So we have the article, the notebook. The last thing is the YouTube transcription. So I think that might be a little bit trickier to get a hold of. I don't know how smart this thing is, but it should know. So YouTube, and there we go. There's a transcript. And that has uploaded. Right, there we go. Let's just go with that. So I'm always of the belief that I want things to be explained in the most or the simplest way possible to get across the concepts, right? I think we're inundated with technical documentation, and I kind of want it to be the minimum amount of technical it needs to be so that you can follow along with it. And if you want to go into more detail, the technical documentation, there is that, and there are deeper dives that you can get into if you want to. So, to answer this question, and this is just a response to what the message. So saying next, let's talk about the interaction style. How technical should the language be when the GPT explains concepts from these materials? Heck. It's quite hard to get that across. Clear. Ultimately, I think with any of these things, there's probably an element here where there's always going to be a barrier to entry, right? Like I would expect you to be able to have some Python programming experience, for example, like you're using things like classes here and some knowledge of object-oriented programming. So it can't be for a complete beginner. I would say, this is probably somebody suitable for somebody that's like an intermediate level and wants to get more detail on the large language model side of things and what you can do with agents and how you can string those workflows together. And you've maybe been just touching on it. Maybe you were a data scientist before dealing with traditional machine learning and you want to make that transition into generative AI and large language models. So yeah, be relatively technical. The articles. Let's see what it says. So it says, do you want the GPT to proactively offer additional resources or explanations, or should it respond to direct queries from the students? Should do both, really. Right. I'm of the belief that you want to kind of be comfortable. If it's too formal, I feel like it can be a bit boring and probably will lose the interest of some of the students or some of the learners interacting with it. So yeah, it could be more conversational. Maybe, you don't want to inundate people. You don't want to overwhelm people with choices. I was going to say maybe you could even give the option to set a tone, but I think it's probably going too far. So let's make it conversational, and I'll probably just take feedback on that. If you do happen to use this, let me know. If the tone is too conversational and you want it to be more formal, let me know, and then we can adjust it based on that feedback. Conversational tone. Since this GPT is just thinking about this now, since this GPT is going to be specific to the agent workflow, I might just make it specific for that. And, this will just be a trial GPT just to try it on this notebook. So let me make the adjustment here. App to learn multi-agent workflows. And have a subtitle saying how to with AutoGen. Let's just do it with AutoGen specifically. Should call that out. So instead of having the kind of generic overall, hopefully that hasn't. Yeah, so instead of having the kind of generic overall GPT for all of the articles, I'm just going to feel free to test GPT Playground, see if it meets your expectations. So I'm not sure about that name, to be honest with you. I think the name's a bit off, but okay, I'll test it and I'll release something with a name I prefer. Okay, so we have some options immediately. Yeah, and obviously this is supposed to be used alongside the article. So if I bring this down and then let me just have, let's just go to the preview. So here is the preview itself. And I'll move the article out. Okay. It's not what we want. We want the GPT. Great. Okay. So it says, explain this Python function. So I would imagine if I'm moving down, I could ask it a question. Could you explain? Let's just hit save first. We'll do this for now. We can always change that later. Explain the user proxy. Oh, that was just in the user. Let's see. Agent. Let's try that. So it's asking the AutoGen multi-agent tutor. Okay, so it does seem to have picked up the information from the article. I mean, I think you could see the difference when I asked about the user proxy just in a normal chat GPT and it returned a kind of generic user proxy thing that wasn't specific to AutoGen, but here it's actually returning the AutoGen user proxy. There are actually a few things that I'd like to add to this as well. So the agent traces right now, let me see. The open question use case article. Let's just see. Oh, perfect. So it's actually grabbed all of, it looks like it's grabbing all of the information from the article and kind of relaying that. So this is fantastic, actually. So what it looks like is it's kind of done all of the retrieval pipelines behind the scenes. So I haven't had to set that up. I think this is honestly a game changer. I have personally had clients come to me with essentially what is a GPT idea. So, you know, they're running some kind of, they've got some proprietary method that they want to kind of encode into an assistant. And, prior to that, prior to GPTs coming out, it was thinking about, okay, how do we read your proprietary method into that system? We're thinking about doing retrieval augmented generation, building those retrieval pipelines, and thinking about, okay, how do we make that work at scale? But with this, it kind of seems like you can at least create a demo relatively quickly. And just as I've demonstrated now, this seems to have pulled all the information in that I want. Let me just see one more thing. You talk. I want to see if it can talk me through an agent trace. So there is an agent trace in the IPython in the notebook, but I'm not sure if it would have read through. So I might need to actually upload one of the agent or a few of the agent traces. Okay, so this is good. That's amazing. It does look like it is actually. Let's see if it could render the actual agent trace. You provide. Let's just see. So it does, obviously it has the ability to search the knowledge base. So I have the agent trace available in the, it's not directly, however, there's references to the agent, there's a GitHub repo, a live demonstration, a YouTube video, which suggests to view the agent trace, you may need to access the mentioned GitHub repo or that's amazing. So that is all true. Obviously I have provided those. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to upload the different agent traces so you'll be able to pull those out when you're working alongside this video. So look, I think it's pretty useful. I'm quite excited about this, and it's given me a lot of ideas. As you can see, it was quite easy to develop this thing. I just built this on the fly. So yeah, give it a try. I'll be uploading this to YouTube, obviously, when I've done the editing for the video. I will probably do a few of these GPTs for some of the other articles I have as well, including some of the content. But please ensure, if you found this informative, if you've liked this content, please ensure that you subscribe to the channel, like the video, share, comment, give me some feedback on the GPT itself. I'll make this available to you via a link, and it will be also available publicly once I've done some of the touch-ups here. The name will change, but the link to the GPT itself will be in the description for this video when you see it. Thank you.